As we settle into this meditation and time for personal reflection, I'm going to sit in a noble posture. My legs are crossed. My shoulders are rolled back so that my heart is open and elevated, lifted. This is a posture known as sada, heart-led sada. My eyes are closed for this practice. And my hands are in a posture where the tips of my thumbs are touching, but my fingers are interlaced. I invite you to find a posture in your body that feels completely at ease. And that might mean lying down. The journey of recovery requires a lot of rest. Rest is the way by which we can find some stillness. As we are beginning to understand our relationship to habit energy, there can be some activated nerves, some agitation and irritation, and that can make stillness difficult. And so by putting the body in a posture of rest and by activating some stillness, we create the conditions in the body for ease. This ease can translate as a space for the mind to slow down, calm down, become clearer. If you're new to meditation, and if your mind does not feel calm, if the mind is racing, allow the ease of the body to just give the mind permission to be exactly as it is. At the same time, if you're in a posture in the body, if you notice in your own body awareness that stillness is not going to be available to you, please honor the body. Meet yourself where you are and move. If you're online, turn your camera off. Feel free to wiggle. Feel free to go for a walk. Feel free to make your dinner or fold your laundry. Maybe you're finishing up some work. Just invite the reality of your life to be part of your practice. Allow that to add brightness and clarity to your practice. And we'll bring in Marty with the strong encouragement to breathe. Just breathe. Friends, the Noble Eightfold Path is the way and the vehicle the Buddha taught and modeled as kind of freedom from misery and confusion, freedom from hostility and aggression, freedom from violence and disregard, suffering. And depending upon what you read and who you read, they appear in a various order. I have always encountered them beginning with wise understanding and ending with wise concentration, kind of as bookends to this whole way of being. But the Buddha also encouraged each of his students, thereby you and me, to take this wisdom, to take these teachings and give them a spin in our own lives and determine for ourselves what is true and real, and invite that to be perfect as your practice. So for me, the Noble Eightfold Path begins with wise understanding, wise intention, wise action. And the fourth that we're going to talk about is wise speech. These concepts are enormous. They are the bedrock of Buddhist practices and principles. We have to have some understanding of our own habit energy, our triggers, our drives, our desires, the places where we stumble, the places where we feel secure. And that informs the intentions that we can create and follow through. It also gives us some ease when our intentions falter. While we have good intentions, the conditions of our life are such that those good intentions fall like lead pellets and something good does not happen. And so with some understanding, we don't have to take it personally. We don't have to be defensive about it. We don't have to react in habitual ways of blaming, disappointment, disapproval, and so forth. We can stay steady and clear. That steadiness, that clarity is a wise action. Last night in our practice, John led us through a wonderful meditation exploring wise intention, and he illustrated, and several community members picked up, when you have good intentions but the other person on the other side isn't in a place to receive them, doesn't have the capacity, and things kind of fall apart. What do? Even with the best intentions, challenges arise. Even with the best intentions, outcomes aren't great. One of our Sangha members brought forward that wonderful idea of there's having an intention and then there's the impact of that intention. I love that. And we're not always in control of that impact because we're not in control of another person's karma, the conditions of their life, whether they're in the mood, fatigued, have the capacity to receive whatever it is that's driving our intention. So what do? How do we really elevate this so that we can rest assured that we've done everything we can to stay true to a good, positive, wise intention? And the Buddha legend says that one of the most important things, one of the most reliable things that we can do is watch our speech. Many of you have heard the 3 gates. Is what I'm about to say true? If it isn't, then I'm not going to speak. The second gate is what I'm about to say kind? And if it isn't, I'm not going to speak. The third one is what I'm about to say of benefit. Is it helpful? If not, better keep quiet. It's a practice. And one of the things that I've observed in my own practice is something in speech. It's kind of a workaround. It's getting around the gates. It's sneaking through a little bit. And it's an ineffective communication tactic called the tee-up. And my kids are great at this, and especially when they were teenagers, like in middle school or in early high school, 9th grade especially. Oh, they would preface their conversations with these fabulous tee-ups. Let me give you an example. Mom, I don't mean to be rude or anything, and then they just say the shittiest things to me. Mom, I don't mean to make you mad or anything, but, and then they would just tell me something horrifying. It's a tee-up. So what the tee-up does is it creates the conditions for the person on the receiving end, i.e. me, to be in between a rock and a hard place. Because if I'm upset, if I'm angry, then I'm really not supposed to be, because they gave me warning that they didn't want me to get angry, but because I am angry, somehow that's on me. If I can't tolerate their rudeness, because they warned me, they gave me a heads up, now I'm not supposed to correct them, I'm just supposed to deal with it, I'm just supposed to tolerate it. So it's a toxic environment, and it's ineffective in communication. So the intention motivating that is, I just have something on my chest that I need to say. I just need to speak my truth. I just need to get it out. But I don't want to go through the trouble of reflecting on it and discerning and becoming wise about it. I just want to vomit on you, Mom. And because I'm me, I didn't tolerate that, which they hated. So they would say things like, Mom, I don't mean to be mean or anything. And I would stop them and say, then don't be. Mom, I know I'm not supposed to gossip about so-and-so, but I just want to, don't tell me anything. I will not hear you if what you're about to say is in the spirit of gossip. Oh. Don't get mad, Mom. Okay, why don't you take a minute to figure out really what you're trying to say to ensure that I won't be upset. Thank you for considering my feelings. So my intention in that conversation with my children was to model pause. And pause is one of the most effective companions to wise speech, because it enables us to slow down as we approach these gates. Is what I'm about to say true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Am I in a good place? Are they in a good place to receive it? Would I want to be on the receiving end of what I'm about to say? Do I care about this person's feelings? So having wise intentions is no easy matter. It's complex. However, the more you learn to discern and the more we learn to gain insight, the more natural it becomes, the easier it becomes, the way we connect and relate to one another has so much suppleness to it. So that when the challenges really do come, we're not so rigid and fixed. Now, my children were trained, which sounds like it's kind of a weird word to use, but that's really what it was. They knew to communicate with me was some mind training, some mind holding, some space holding. So now when they come to me, they'll say things like, "Mom, I'm holding some really challenging feelings. I don't want you to get upset. You might get upset. I've thought about it. I don't know quite how to work this through. So if you could just listen to me and help me hold these feelings, and then can we talk about it?" Beautiful. So they're showing me that they're doing their best to consider themselves, to consider me, and we can learn together. Beautiful. Excellent intention. Excellent tee-up. Preface. Now let's say, for argument's sake, you present this to someone, and what you receive is something like, "Ugh, why you gotta be so complicated all the time? Why you gotta be so serious and so practiced? I just gotta say shit sometimes. I just gotta vent." Valid. It's fair. And the answer to that is becoming a skillful communicator to grow in wisdom is complicated. It is serious in a world that is full of violence and aggression, in a world that is deeply confused and hurting. This is an avenue of making peace and bringing forward love and presence, kindness and compassion. So yeah, it's serious. And it will take time. And so when somebody says that to me, they get some version of what I just said. And I'll also say, and it's okay if you're not ready for this conversation, or you're not in the mood, or you don't have the capacity for it. I'm committed to this. I'm devoted to this for the long haul. And the long haul, friends, this comes from Pema Chodron, is 10 years. So you're invited to take this concept and practice and think about it for the next 10 years and see what you think. Because that's how long it takes to really feel like you've mastered something. You really feel like you've got a handle on it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a practice. So let's take a moment and come back to the practice of simply breathing in and out, having an intention to allow the brightness of the day, the brightness of this practice to bring clarity to your heart, to your mind, by way of your intentions, your understanding, your action, and your speech. Breathe that in and breathe it out. All right, let's go ahead and end our practice with a dedication of merit. Yesterday, one of the things that was brought forward when we're working with wise intention is the way it invites the 4 limitless qualities: loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity. And it really does test our capacity for these qualities and really shows us where our blind spots are, where we need a little bit of work. And one of my favorite, I think truly my favorite definition of Maitri, loving kindness, comes from Thich Nhat Hanh. And he reminds us that when we're truly loving someone, when we're really offering that loving kindness, that presence, it's not transactional. It's not, I love you because you do things for me, because you behave in a certain way, you conform to my comfort. We are extending loving kindness because you exist. That's it. You are here in this life, in whatever manifestation that is. You exist. And so when we think about people and we offer this idea of may you be happy, it's may you have the causes and conditions for your happiness. That sentiment, that intention, when it's sincere, is a powerful act of love and kindness. May you be free of confusion and mind and heart defilement. May you be safe. May you have good food and nutrition. May you rest well. May you have a deep sense of connection and belonging. May you be seen, heard, and cherished. To bring forth those intentions is a way to bring life to loving kindness, compassion, joy, and freedom. Thank you, friends, for your practice. We'll see you next time. Namaste.